Hi there, can you tell me who you are?
Hello, I'm Eadaoin Quinn from EFS Plastics, and I'm the Director of Business Development and Procurement.
Wonderful. Eadaoin, you are at the Association of New Jersey Recyclers spring event in Burlington County today, and you made a presentation to the group about your business and the type of recyclable materials that you're looking for and what you're doing with them after you get them in. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So yeah, we are a post-consumer plastic recycler. We're focused on some of the lower value plastics coming out of a MRF. So that would be your 3 through 7 mixed plastics and your plastic film, so plastic bags that have been recovered through a MRF.
Okay, now let's backtrack a bit. 3 through 7 for people who aren't in the business. What do they mean? Give me examples of 3 through 7 recyclable.
So a 3 through 7 mixed plastic is what might result from, if at a MRF you were sorting out your number 1 plastic, your PET, you're sorting out your number 2, your HDPE, then all the plastic left over would be your 3 through 7 mix. Within that 3 through 7 mix, we are mostly focused on recovering the polyethylene and polypropylene. So that would be number 2, number 4, number 5, and a lot of number 7s are mostly a number 5 or a number 2. So we're recovering most of those things except for the number 3, which is PVC, which is only present in very small amounts in the household stream, and polystyrene we are not recovering.
Okay, now give me some real-world examples of these type of materials so people will be able to understand that.
So the stuff that we are recovering, we're looking for, yogurt containers is a big one. That is a number 5. Deli containers, takeout containers, so whatever you bought maybe your Chinese food that you brought into your house, that would probably be in a polypropylene container. A lot of, like a Arizona iced tea bottle is a common polypropylene container that would be in our stream.
Okay. Now, I had heard at one point that things like that some towns and counties were banning the taking in yogurt containers, for example. But you found a good use for them.
Yep. So I think when a municipality might tell their residents not to sort number 3 through 7 plastics, I think what they're really saying is that they need to find a way to clean up their paper stream. The paper is really under a lot of stress right now. It used to be, mixed paper used to be exported to China. Since National Sort, it's very difficult to move mixed paper. It has to hit an extremely stringent purity level. So what some people are deciding to do is removing things that could introduce additional contaminants. So a yogurt container with yogurt around the outside does not affect its ability to get recycled as a yogurt container. But if there's leftover yogurt in there and it spills all over paper, that prevents that paper from getting recycled. So I think the MRFs and the municipalities are making the best decision they can if they decide to do that, because they're very concerned about being able to move that paper, which is more than half of what they're getting in the recycling bin. But I would like to try to decouple that message from the fact that number 5 markets are very strong. Yogurt cups are extremely recyclable, but we may need to start thinking about collecting our materials in 2 separate streams again. So dual stream, where you have paper on one side and plastics, metals, and other containers on the other side.
Yeah, and this is becoming a popular thought, or more popular now, to separate it and to lessen the contamination problem that we're dealing with. That's good. Now, the value, too, I might be wrong about this, but the polypropylene value is something you can pull out and sell to a market like yourselves.
Yeah.
That unlike a lot of other materials these days, there really is a pretty strong value for that, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're actively looking for new sources of polypropylene. The end markets for us are quite strong. We're seeing a real pull for that material to get into the products that people are making. It's very readily recyclable. There's enough of supply now that manufacturers are now looking to it as something that they can consistently bring in as a supply source. So we want to grow that. We feel there's a real trend in that direction. So we want more polypropylene in from residents, and we want to turn more of that into products that people can use. I think there's a real opportunity there, but we still have to figure out what's the best way to handle that contamination that it could potentially
get it out of the waste stream.
Yeah.
What's an example of a household use of a product that is polypropylene?
In a household, it might be a recycling bin could be polypropylene, a storage container could be polypropylene. Sometimes it could be going into like lawn furniture type materials.
Okay. How about a product that someone buys today at the grocery store? Is there anything at a grocery store?
There's not a lot of food grade polypropylene.
Okay.
There's some of that starting to enter the marketplace. That's not something that we're producing, and it's quite a small market at this point. So it typically would not be a food grade packaging application.
Okay. So, and certainly the yogurt containers is not that. That's another
Yogurt
part of the
container
337. Are
is
they?
Polypropylene.
That is a polypropylene.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very
Yep.
good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great. And tell me about your company. I understand you're based in Canada. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But you're operating here in the States as well, obviously. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we have two facilities, one in Southern Ontario, one in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
The Ontario facility processes both the 3 through 7 mixed plastics and film. The Pennsylvania facility just does film. And now we are sourcing from across North America to both locations. So sometimes Canada sounds like a very far away place. We're really not that far.
That's true.
It's about 8 hours from here. So we're very interested in the Northeast marketplace, but there's certainly opportunities in other locations that had been heavily exporting.
Now, film, which is one of the things you're looking for people who don't understand, we're not talking about Kodak film. We're talking about the big one today, plastic grocery bags, right? Yeah. So you get it after when people take their bags back to recycle to the grocery store where they got them in the first place. Then you get it after that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So about half of our in-feed of film is from grocery store take-back programs. So when you take that grocery bag back to a store, half of it is actually coming from MRF separation as well.
We should identify what is a MRF.
A MRF is a material recovery facility.
Okay.
So in a material recovery facility, you would see there's a lot of bags coming in, even if that municipality doesn't ask for them to be put in. So it needs to be cleared away from the other products. And I would venture to say most MRFs are creating a film product as well. We're prioritizing bringing in film from suppliers who are providing us with that 3 through 7 mix. So that's why we're focused on MRF grade film. There's an enormous amount of agricultural film out there available for recycling, which is something we would potentially like to tap into, but we don't see farms producing a lot of mixed 3 through 7 plastics, so they're not our target right now.
Okay. And that material that comes out, that you capture, that film material, the bags, what do they become after you're finished with them?
Yeah, so we are doing a film-to-film application, so we recycle plastic bags into a plastic pellet that can then go back into a plastic bag.
Okay.
So they're going into grocery store bags and retail takeout bags. And I mentioned before that the vast majority of our customers who are buying that pellet to put into plastic bags are being sold into the California marketplace. California has legislation that requires post-consumer recycled content in film. So they have one law that requires all trash bags in the state of California have to include 10% post-consumer recycled content, which is an extremely important draw for us. And then California has a statewide bag ban. As part of that ban, any reusable film bags that are given out in a store for a fee must include right now 20% recycled content, and in 2020, 40% recycled content. So that's a really important push for us when we are looking to find new end markets for our product. So we're excited to see Washington is considering similar legislation. Disappointing to see that the New York bill didn't include that recycled content element, but something we'd hope others would consider.
New York just banned the use of the
They banned the use,
altogether.
and they went to an option for paper bags. You can have a fee, but they didn't include and they actually included a place for reusable bags, but didn't specify that it needed to have post-consumer recycled content. So just that one little piece does really make a big difference for us. So just like to highlight that.
Well, one must have something to work on for the future,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, but I think it's worth saying that bag bans are still an important message that the public is putting out, that they're fed up with the status quo. We can't just keep producing this plastic if we don't have end markets for it, and it's ending up in our oceans. So I'm very happy to see that push, and we're eager to see people adapt to the new landscape that we're in.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much today for your presentation, Eadaoin, for giving us a little time as well. And tell us where people can get in contact with you if they'd like to reach you.
Well, certainly most easily, you can probably go to our website, which is efs-plastics.ca, and you'll find our info@efs-plastics.ca email address, or find me on LinkedIn, Eadaoin Quinn. You'll probably put it in the little site.
You better spell the Eadaoin, or they're going to be way off you. How do you spell that?
Eadaoin is spelled E-A-D-A-O-I-N.
I told you, folks. All right, Eadaoin. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.